January 2010. Alright, let's go.
This one took a lot longer than all the
scenery.
others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the
Okay,
time.
that was bright. That is neat. Ha-da-da. Rum-ba-bum. Leaning against this wall. Can I lean against there right there? This room's chairs, professional for animals. Chief photographer and a professional. This is your one chance to learn something for her, gain something for her. Go on, say something to her. Hi there. Hi, my name's Dex. That's it? That's not a conversation? Do it again. Here are all of my hopes and dreams. Unreserved, but knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason. Alright. Must have worked really hard to get here. Alright. Whoa. Yeah, lamppost. Alright. That was really loud. Okay.
The game ends with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
June 2010. To play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. How do I know am I still supposed to walk around? I have my eyes closed. Where is this? Okay, I'm opening my eyes. Oh, hello! Hi there!
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
Please tell me how to solve this. Ah! can't see anything. I am legally blind. Just don't let this be forever. Oh, it's the Whisper. What's going on? Please, someone talk to me. Okay, there's a door here. Can I go up? Okay, I can. What's going on here? Truth. I can't keep making these.
Like I said, I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So, where's that coming from? But then, even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way. His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
December 2010. Okay. You know? Okay, that freaked me out a bit. He's kind of freaking out. The person, how lovely. It's been a long time since I've talked to anyone. What's wrong? You look lost. What do you think, bud? This game is getting way too real.
If the last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for? Because, from my perspective at the time, and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
Oh, I thought that was on the outside. You have to open the door. Oh, it's white now. You have to close the door. press the switch here.
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
There's someone crying. Say just keep talking.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering. This is someone I really cared about, and I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me. I don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so lost. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop. But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
Tell me like a Hellcat.